So, Megan, I know you,
Mm-hmm.
but our listening audience might not. So, who is Megan Scott?
Well, my name is Megan Scott. I am a wife, a mother to two beautiful children who actually both attend here at Hemlock. And I actually have a couple roles here at Hemlock. My one role during the day is actually the librarian for both Hemlock Elementary and Casey Ling Elementary. And then in my evening is actually the drama instructor for both Hemlock High School and Hemlock Middle School.
So, Megan, in the morning when you get up, what is your why? What's a driving force for you each day?
Well, first off, I absolutely love the kids here at Hemlock. Every day I am greeted with a, "Hey, Mrs. Scott," and I usually get little hugs, which I absolutely love, and it just makes you just feel very warm and welcome. And I also love the fact that when it's especially drama season, it gives me a drive and a force to want to, I want to make sure that the kids feel as welcome as I want to feel welcome when I walk in those doors. So that's my main focus in the morning, is to make sure that everyone just feels safe, comfortable, warm, welcome. That's kind of my driving force.
So, well, and that definitely shows in your productions. I mean, when you attend a Megan Scott production, it kind of has a signature to it of very welcoming. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're mostly sold out.
They are. Last year we had, well, not last year, excuse me. Well, it was last year, but our fall production for 2021, Cafe Murder, which was our very first ever dinner theater ever in the history of high school drama as far as I know. And we were actually only planning on doing 2 shows. And before our shows even went live, I got a phone call from one of the building principals saying, "Hey, we're getting phone calls up the wazoo. You need to add a 3rd show." So we did, added the 3rd show, and all 3 shows when the tickets went live sold out. Completely sold out. So we had to add another show, and within a couple days, that sold out. So we added a 5th show, and within a few days, that sold out. So actually, 2.5 weeks before our show, all 5 shows were completely sold out. Just phenomenal. I probably would have done a 6th show, but that was asking a lot of my kids.
I was just going to say, like,
yeah.
The listening audience is like, oh, another show.
I know, but when you come in saying, "Oh, we're only doing 2 shows," and now we've added 4, or not 4, excuse me, 3 at the time, it was just kind of like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" But they were beautiful at it. They did a fabulous job, and they just kind of pushed through it, because 2 of our shows were actually back to back. So we had a 5 o'clock show and a 7:30 show, and you would have never known if you came to both, like that they had a show before or show after. They're hard workers.
Yeah, I love the fact that, like, when you do go to multiple shows of the same performance, each one has a little bit different
Yep.
feel.
A little bit different variants in it. Yep.
So, I think everybody wants to know this. How do you do it? I mean, when you come to a performance, whether it be this fall's dinner theater or previous performances, one of the things that I note is, like, I've seen you have kids that would never sing or dance.
Yes.
And
I love
all of a
that.
sudden they're up on stage and they're singing and dancing. So how do you do that? How do you get that out of people?
Well, I think it's because they know I expect a lot out of them. Because I tell them, walking in as, this is what I expect from you. If you are in my program, I expect X, Y, and Z from you. And you are going to bring it, or this program just isn't a good fit for you. Some kids have it in them, but it's their confidence just isn't there. So my role when I'm especially doing theater is I want to build confidence in kids to believe in themselves. And honestly, once they believe in themselves, it's all them. It's not me. It's all them. So when you have kids on stage that may be acting or singing and you're just like, I've never even heard them say boo, the fact that they can get up there and do that, my job is done.
Well, it definitely, I've seen that happen over and over and over again over the years. So this spring, March, May is production time.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about the upcoming productions?
So first we have Hemlock High School, and we actually just had our auditions just recently, and practice has just started. And we're actually doing Sister Act, which was on Broadway. So that is really fun and exciting. It is about Dolores, who kind of gets in with the wrong crowd and sees something really bad that has happened. And now she has to go into the witness protection program. And the witness protection program happens to be in a church full of nuns. So she becomes a nun, and she kind of like takes over the program for singing and improves it to the point that she kind of gets herself caught. And the bad guys that were looking for her kind of find her. And so some things happen, which I don't want to give away the rest of the ending, but it's got comedy, it's got drama in it, it's got singing, beautiful singing in it, and a bunch of nuns dancing on stage. Who doesn't love nuns dancing on a stage?
It sounds like an amazing time.
Mm-hmm.
Can you let us know when are tickets going to go on sale? So
tickets will probably go on sale either 2 or 3 weeks before the actual show. Our show is going to be April 7th through the 9th. 3 performances, all in the evening at 7 p.m. If tickets do go on sale either 2 or 3 weeks before, there will be lots of advertisement online, whether through the Hemlock School pages or on our Hemlock High School Theater page, which is on Facebook. And all tickets will be online again, which we've done it now for this will be our 2nd year, but 3rd production, all tickets online. And it's been phenomenal because if people can't get up to the school to purchase a ticket, this gives them an avenue to find a ticket. So.
That's amazing. So mid-March, we can look forward to purchasing tickets for Sister Act at the high school, and it's April 7th?
8th and 9th. Yep,
okay.
7 p.m.
So 3
at Hemlock High School, Griglio Auditorium.
So 3 performances or
3? Well, 3. However, just like Cafe Murder, if our tickets are looking on the trend that they are going to sell out, we will add a 4th performance. And if we did, that would be a Saturday matinee if we did. So... fingers crossed. The kids have already been warned.
Well, I'll tell you what. I am sure it's going to sell out because who doesn't love dancing and singing nuns? I mean, that's just
I love it.
Brings it to a whole nother level.
Yep.
So we've got the high school musical, and then we have a spring middle school performance. I know you don't always like to tell too much about it, but can you tell us a little bit about what's coming up?
Okay, so what's coming up for middle schoolers, this will be an exciting year because last year we weren't able to have middle school theater, which middle school theater actually feeds the high school program. And it's very needed because what I love about our middle school program is the fact that it gives kids the confidence that they may not have seen in themselves, and they can carry it throughout their whole entire life, whether or not they decide to go on to high school drama. But we're going to start in February, towards the end of February, to have tryouts for middle school, which will be open for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And then the show is great. I can't tell you what it is just quite yet, but the show will be May 5th through the 7th. Again, probably 7 p.m. as well. If it looks like tickets might be selling out, then we'll probably add a 4th show for middle school. But it's a very good show. It's a show that's been requested quite a bit. I can tell you that, but I can't tell you exactly what it is just quite yet.
Well, the anticipation is going to just drive me nuts.
Yes.
I'm super excited. So you're going to be juggling practices for the middle school, the high school, 2 productions.
I'll be living in the theater.
Yes, from pretty much
school gets out. Yep, school gets out until like 8 o'clock at night every night. But honestly, sometimes there would be no place I'd rather be because magic just happens in there, and you just see kids just grow and just build themselves up, and it's an amazing experience to watch because it's not me on the stage, it's not me doing anything. I'm just trying to help them find themselves and what they need to do for their characters or scenes or choreography or whatever it may be, but it's them that's becoming the actors and becoming this amazing like standout star that they were meant to be.
Well, and it's such a lifelong skill.
Yes.
Being able to communicate, perform, talk. I mean, they say that the number one, fear among adults is public speaking.
Yes.
And
yes.
Death is number 3.
Right.
So people would rather die than public speak.
Yes. And that's why theater is super important in our schools.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my goal is, especially when I have them in middle school, is I just want them to learn skills that's going to get them through public speaking. Because guess what? At some point in your life, you're going to have to speak in front of a crowd. Whether it may be at work, school, whatever, you're going to have to. And if our theater program helps build that confidence in them, I've done my job. Same for high school. My goal for high school sometimes is not so much like, I know they're not going to be breakout Broadway stars. I mean, I love that, if they become that. But my goal is to make them confident adults that if they need to go to the workplace and they need to, present a speech or present a project or whatever it may be, they're going to have the confidence going into that because they're not going to be scared. They might be nervous, but they're not going to be scared because they already have those skill sets. And that's why it's very important to have theater in our schools, just for that purpose alone.
Well, one of the things that we've been really trying to communicate, make sure that our parents know, our students know, but even the greater community understands, is that kids that are engaged outside of just the classroom, so they're engaged either on the athletic field,
Yep.
in the band room, on the drama stage, part of robotics,
Yep.
those students do better not only at school during the day, they do better at home,
Yep.
they do better later in life, and there's just oodles of research to support that. The kids that are engaged, it's also the kids that are engaged are part of our school safety plan.
Yes.
I mean, that's just it.
Yep.
That's how it works. Is they're part of that community,
Mm-hmm.
and so we really appreciate what you do with kids in bringing them in and engaging them and creating a community for kids.
It's my pleasure. My mantra is when we have theater, and I say this at the very beginning, even at auditions, we are one big family. And I want everyone to have respect for each other and have each other's backs, and that's what family is all about.
Yeah, that is. So what piece of advice would you have for students or parents that might be listening right now?
Well, one, theater's amazing. My big thing is I just want kids to have fun and have a good time. I really do. I want them to be on stage or even backstage, because backstage is just as important as being on stage. I want them just to have fun with the program. I want them to gain new experiences, sometimes gain new friends, because I know school sometimes is a little hard to make, friends, especially if you transferred here or moved here. And I hope that my program is one way that you just feel safe and comfortable, that you can just grow and flourish throughout our school.
Well, that's a good piece of advice.
My name is Megan Scott, and I am a Hemlock Husky.
Well, thank you for joining me today.
You are very welcome. Thanks for having me.